considerable effort, their 3 regiments have just finished dragging their cannons to the summit of the only hillock on the plain. All of them, soldiers and officers alike, are aware that they will be advancing shortly with no cover at all. There are no bushes, not even any shadows on this side of the river. Only an empty plain that descends gently to the water. Shamil's Muslims are in a position to fire at them at will. Indeed, the Chechen horsemen are the ones who chose this spot for the meeting, mercilessly exposing the Russian troops. In the event of an incident, they are prepared to cross the Michik and massacre the flower of the army of infidels. 3 generals of the Russian army, all Georgian princes, sit tall and still in their saddles on the facing hill. A 4th officer, a young lieutenant wearing the blue of the Vladimirsky Lancers, at their side. Like the 3 princes, the young man is looking through his binoculars to zero in on the warriors on the opposite bank, the other world. He searches for the master of this strange ceremony, the Imam Shamil. The Montagnard is waiting further up, away from his troops, seated beneath a huge black parasol. The young lieutenant sees only his shadow. An unseasonably hot sun shines on the ragged branches of a dead fir tree, a lone tree on the Russian shore, halfway between the Muslim and Christian camps. This is where the exchange will take place. Both armies are still. No one moves, but all are tense, ready to attack. This morning, though, no blood must flow. On the other side of the river, 35 Dagestani and Chechen Montagnards begin to ford the river, flanking the 4 wagons with their mysterious loads. The wagons teeter, threatening to overturn as the wheels sink into the rocks and mud of the riverbed. But from sandbank to islet, they manage to get across. The first wagon reaches the dead tree. One of the Imam's horsemen breaks rank, waving a banner to signal that the meeting may now proceed. The princes and the young man ride down the hill. 4 abreast, they make their way across the plain, followed by their aides-de-camp and 35 soldiers, and by a convoy of 4 other wagons carrying 40,000 rubles and 16 Chechen prisoners. The ransom. The 2 enemy groups are face to face, each warily watching the other's every move. As the princes reach the tree, they can barely make out the figures of the 23 women and children huddled inside before the Chechens close ranks around the enemy wagons. They will not allow the Russians to approach the hostages. These are the princes' wives, sisters, sons, daughters, and nieces whom Shamil kidnapped the previous summer and has held in captivity for over 8 months. Bargaining chips. One of the Imam's sons, a formidable warrior of 20, pale and nervous, greets the princes with a hand held over his heart. He delivers an interminable speech in a language none of the 4 understand, Avar. The interpreter translates only the bits and pieces he finds essential. My father wants you to know that your women return to you as pure as lilies, protected from all eyes like gazelles of the desert. Joy, anger, and a burning desire for vengeance cross the faces of the princes, who stiffen. They nod without comment. The lieutenant slowly leaves the Russian contingent. He guides his mount forward and bows to the Imam's son, his brother. Without a flicker of recognition in either of their faces, Shamil's 2 sons embrace. They have not seen each other in 16 years. This cold greeting leaves them both trembling. The Chechen horseman holding the banner presents the lieutenant with a Cherkeska, the traditional uniform of the Caucasus, and asks him to put it on. The puzzled young man, who has forgotten his mother tongue, turns to the interpreter. The Imam wants to see his eldest son dressed only in the clothing of his country, the interpreter explains. Dismayed, the young man protests. How can I get undressed here, in front of everyone? The wishes of the Imam are law. You will learn that no one disobeys your father.